I'm Andy Katz from ESPN, along with my co-host Seth Greenberg. On the latest edition of the ESPN College Basketball Podcast, we are going to discuss the notice of allegations at Louisville and Seth Greenberg on a tour around the country. Go to the ESPN app and click on the headphone icon to get our podcast.
Attention.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show.
I hate sports.
Dan Le Batard.
I will crush everybody, brother.
Stugats.
That's when I threw the chicken wing, Dan. Half-eaten with blue cheese dripping off of it.
This is the real base.
You're not going to ever pronounce human correctly.
I can't.
Right? You're gonna.
I eat my H's. They're delicious.
Can you pronounce human?
Human.
Base is pumping.
Just to close up what I began to say yesterday about Baldwin after the game.
You meant last segment. We were off yesterday.
Last segment, yes. Thank
Super
you.
Bowl Sunday, just to remind you.
Thank you.
Should be Super Bowl Saturday. We'll talk about that later. Enough of this.
We're not going to talk about it later, and we're not going to talk about it now either.
Well, I'm glad I got it in.
Gronkowski should just have bro on the back of his uniform.
Oh, yeah.
That's all it should say. Not even a number. Not his name, not a number, just bro.
He can't retire quick enough just so we can put him in the Monday Night Football booth, right? Can that happen? You ready for some football with that body?
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugats on ESPN Radio.
Did you just admit you're a Knicks fan?
Whoa!
I honestly don't know where to start today's show. I suppose I'm supposed to start with baseball, Game 7, World Series, yada, yada, hooray. But there's so much other stuff going on around here that deserves exploring. We've got a great Stugat story for you that is unbelievable and totally believable. We've got a great Tony La Russa story that is unbelievable and totally believable. We've got a great me story that is unbelievable and totally believable. We've got a great shipping container filled with frightened refugees, gossiping frightened refugees. That is believable and totally believable. We will start there. That's where we're going to start. Today on the show, we got baseball writers coming on with us to talk baseball, so you'll get baseball over the course of the show. But I got to go to this godforsaken Harvard Club wedding.
Oh.
Pablo Torre, snoot, top floor of the Titanic. And so I had to go get a tuxedo yesterday because I should probably own a tuxedo, but I don't own a tuxedo. And I had to go rent a tuxedo, and I didn't know what I was doing. And so as a joke, I just sent a bunch of photos from the tuxedo place to Mike Ryan and Allison. Mm-hmm. And next thing I know, it's spreading all over the place. And what just happened in the last segment is I realized that Guillermo has seen the tuxedo that I'm going to wear to this wedding. And Guillermo, only, 12 hours too late, just helpful enough to mock me and nothing else, says you need to not be wearing that tuxedo. That is a very poor choice.
As soon as I saw the picture, which was about 20 minutes ago, I said, he can't wear that. Someone needs to tell him.
Okay, so at least you weren't. So at least it didn't spread, because I sent it to Mike and Allison from the tuxedo shop just because I thought they would find it funny.
Right. And what kind of response did you get from?
Silence.
Oh.
Until I get here this morning and I find out that everyone's been laughing, roaring with laughter at my tuxedo choice.
Allison claims she likes the tux. I'll say this. I will not say who showed me the picture of the tuxedo, but I was involved yesterday in trying to find a location for you to rent this tuxedo. So this person said, hey, look, we found a place. He went and he got a tuxedo. And I said, oh, no, he can't wear that tuxedo. Mm-hmm. That's a terrible tuxedo.
I'm claiming that Allison is lying. I mean, there's no way if you look at that tux that you can like that tux. There is simply no way.
All right, start here. Let's start here. Put it up at Le Batard Show. Put it up, please. I'd like people to vote. Don't put my name on it because it'll contaminate the poll. Just, is this a good tuxedo or a bad tuxedo? By the way, Stugats is doing the entire show with a selfie stick because he lost at the Grid of Death. How can people see the show through Stugats' selfie stick?
It's on our show's Facebook page. We are tweeting out the details where you can go ahead and access our show's Facebook page. But he is Facebook live streaming for the entire show as he holds up that selfie stick.
He's got to do it all show. Allison, why did you run toward the microphone and then run away? Why did you throw a stuffed animal at Guillermo and then run away? What is happening with you here? You are terribly neurotic. What is happening with you?
I don't really know what's happening. I didn't know it was a secret, the tuxedo.
I didn't say it was you.
Is it a bad enough in-house bickering? You saw the tuxedo, and your initial honest reaction to the tuxedo was,
It's okay. I don't think it's terrible. I thought it was you.
all I want is to just go in and out and have nobody notice anything. Like,
well, everyone's going to notice you now. Everyone. I mean, you're going to be the talk of the wedding.
It did make me think of the show Hamilton for some reason. Like, I thought of that for a second.
I mean, it's supposed to be her day, and now you're going to be the topic
Really?
of conversation.
Guillermo, hold on a second. Guillermo, what's wrong with the tuxedo?
I mean, it's okay, I guess.
What is wrong?
Stop sugarcoating,
I
man.
want to know what's wrong. I want to know if I need to go get another tuxedo, if I need to go now and get a different tuxedo today. What's wrong with the tuxedo?
I would call the place and tell them you don't want that tuxedo and get another one.
Guillermo,
You need a tie.
answer my question.
You don't need a bow tie, but you need a tie. A tuxedo could look like a suit. It just has to be a little nicer than a suit.
I swear that all I was doing there was lazy. I'm like, a button? Okay, that's easy. I don't want to tie a tie. I don't want to put on a bow tie. I don't want to clip anything on. Just press a button. Good. I'm good. Press a button. Bang. That's fine.
They could set the bow tie for you, so when you get to the wedding, you just put it around the shirt and you're good to go. You have to do something. Listen. I am telling you that you're going to be mocked relentlessly at this wedding.
I'm not positive about this, but I am floating around here in a sea of ignorance because I have no idea.
Can't rock the button, replacing the bow tie.
Here's the thing, though. Look, man, the guy running the tuxedo place. I point to that and I'm like, hey, is that okay for black tie? Does that count as black tie? I actually asked the question, am I violating some sort of black tie etiquette snob Harvard Club Pablo rule? And he's like, no, that's good. That is absolutely black tie.
And I'm telling you, when you walked out of the shop, they started cackling at you.
Well, he was by himself, so he started laughing by
He
himself.
called all his friends and told everyone.
It may just be the shirt that you have to change. Like the jacket looks like it could be okay. I think it's just the shirt that you have to change.
That's what I told him. Just bring back the shirt, replace it with a new shirt and a tie or a bow tie. That's it. He's good to go.
Yeah, the jacket does give off a bit of the Hamilton vibe.
Well, the jacket is unusual. He said the jacket doesn't close. It's not
Is
meant.
it because of your body?
Why didn't you just go to like the normal tuxedo side of the store? Like this was probably by itself, right? Like there were no other tuxedos around this. Like this was like the look at me tuxedo.
It wasn't the look at me tuxedo.
Did he sell you on this is a special, like limited edition type of tuxedo? Because it is limited. People haven't worn these in 30 years.
Is there a Halloween section in this tuxedo
Wait a minute.
store?
Is it also outdated? Is this stylistically outdated
the style
tuxedo?
where the button replacing the bow tie. Hey, we're hip and
Well,
different.
clearly it's outdated if it's from Hamilton. It's from the 1700s, clearly. It's a tuxedo that Ben Franklin wore.
Right, super in during the time of Hamilton and then made a resurgence around 1994. Right. And then I think it peaked around Real World Seattle, and then that's when it stopped.
Okay.
I mean, the guy must have been shocked when you chose that one. It's the only one he hasn't
He
stocked.
wasn't. Man,
no one has used it in at least 2 decades.
It was prominently displayed.
For sure, he called the manager. He's like, "We found someone. Someone rented it."
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, there has to be an office pool. It's to, like, who can move this one?
I got a major bonus yesterday.
Probably got an iPad or something.
You guys think that in-house there is a competition to see who can move the one in the corner. Let's see if we can get someone to come in here with some learning disabilities or something. Like somebody here who's a little bit slow. I bet we can fool them. Oh, man.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. I here's the thing. I don't trust the audience either. I don't trust anybody right now. I'm in a hugely distrustful state. I don't trust anybody. I don't know, because I feel like the audience, if the audience right now, I feel like that poll, what's going to happen there is it's going to be torn between people who want to mock me right now and people who would like me to still wear that tuxedo so that I could get mocked on Saturday when I end up at the wedding.
We're divided in here. Fat Chris doesn't mind it. He thinks it's nice.
It's fine. Like, I saw it. I tried it on, and I was like, whatever. I just want to go in and out. I'm not looking to make any sort of sartorial statement. I just want to put something on for 5 hours and so that I can get in basketball shorts as fast afterward as I can.
Did you take a picture with you wearing it? Because maybe that would be helpful.
Yeah. Did you? Did you do one of those?
No, I didn't take any pictures of myself wearing
that's too bad.
I would like to make that my wallpaper.
I should send one of you right now to my apartment. It's over by the wall of water on the pool table right now. I should send one of you over there to go bring it back here and do the rest of the show wearing that tuxedo. I might do that in exchange for in exchange for a future grid of death penalty being removed. What do you think? You guys willing to do that? Are you guys willing to make a trade? Put that up on the poll, Guillermo. At Batard Show, put up on the poll, have the people vote. If Dan, would you remove a future grid of death penalty for Dan in exchange for him wearing a tuxedo? Maybe I'll wear it tomorrow. Maybe I'll come in with it tomorrow.
Poll is brought to you by Kabbage.com. That's Kabbage with a K, Kabbage, supporting small businesses with on-the-spot access to funding. Visit KabbageWithAK.com.
Which way would you guys vote if you had to vote? I get a future pass on a grid of death penalty in exchange for wearing this tuxedo all show tomorrow.
No shot. You're already having to wear it once. That's a punishment already.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, but wearing it twice, though. And I might not even wear it. I might not wear it. Now that you guys have dissuaded me, I might not ever wear it. I might just return it today and go get a different one. Get a totally benign one that looks just like all the others.
You're going to do that to the poor salesman who got a bonus yesterday?
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, and I'll get my money back. I might get a cheaper one. What should that cost, by the way? Because I wasn't sure whether I was buying a cheap one or not either, or renting a cheap one.
You should get that for free.
Why for free?
Because it's bad.
It's bad.
Oh, that one for free.
Yeah, tuxedo rentals are expensive, man.
Really?
Yeah, how much did you pay?
$150.
Yeah, that's actually, it's starting to make more and more sense.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. In November, Progressive will give away over 100 vehicles to veterans in need as part of its Keys to Progress program. Very cool. Giving thanks for the freedom they've given us. To learn more, go to progressive.com/keys to progress. The Dan Le Batard Show is brought to you by Allstate, a proud sponsor of the College Game Day Tour, live this Saturday from Baton Rouge as Alabama takes on LSU. Allstate, proud sponsor of college football. It's good to be in good hands. Here's your SportsCenter update. Cubs force a Game 7 last night, 9-3 over the Indians. Addison Russell, 2 hits, 6 RBI, including a grand slam that blew the game open. Game 7 tonight. Kyle Hendricks, Corey Kluber, 8 Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio. First college football rankings announced last night. Alabama, Clemson, Michigan, and Texas A&M are your top 4. It's completely absurd. Kevin Sumlin doesn't even think that Texas A&M is the 4th best team in the country. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in to SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
I don't think that's fair what you just did there. That's just your opinion.
It's your opinion. You reported it as news.
You reported it as fact.
Yeah, and I'm reporting that as fact.
Okay. An amazing Tony La Russa story and an amazing Stugatz story next.
It is Dan and Stu from the Clevelander in South Beach on ESPN Radio.
30.
Dan Le Batard.
Texter writes in, wow, Dan, you're an amazingly awful snob. I did the formula stuff, man. I threw in a couple of fat-faced jokes to appear charming and self-deprecating so that I would conceal and mask the snobbery and the strident obnoxiousness. It's a go-to move of mine. It has been for decades. The entire empire is built atop it.
A couple of light jabs about my aristocratic lifestyle.
That's right.
Stugatz.
It's formulaic at this point. We're playing notes, baby. It's music. He's not actually obnoxious. He's just Lupica in disguise.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugats on ESPN Radio.
Catch me and Mike Golick Jr. every Sunday for weekend observations from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. The World Series is on ESPN Radio. Pretty big game tonight. Catch all the action at 7 Eastern. Presented by AutoZone on ESPN Radio, ESPNRadio.com, and the ESPN app.
So many people writing in saying I look like a vampire. People writing in looking, that tux I'm thinking about wearing looks like something you'd see in a 1990 merengue video. The helpful Amin El Hassan doing a little private show for me here via text. Mm-hmm. If the goal is to slip in and out of the wedding relatively undetected, then yeah, what you're wearing is awful. If you plan on joining Color Me Bad on a reunion tour, it could work. Stugotz is holding a selfie stick all show as part of his grid of death punishment. His fingers are turning purple. He is struggling already with it. His arm is already tired.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
He underestimated how hard it would be to hold a selfie stick for an entire show. You're going to have a lot of muscle soreness tomorrow.
I know. I'm feeling it. Like, I chose this because I figured it'd be easy, and it's been anything but so far. But we're having fun. Come join us. Facebook Live. Mike, how can they join us?
It's on our show's Facebook. I'm sure they'll put some of that info on the television show. And also, we've tweeted out a direct link. All you got to do is click it, and it'll take you to Stugatz's live stream that's going on all show and even during the breaks.
So we've got Game 7 of the World Series. That's interesting and exciting. I suppose we'll talk about it at some point. Jonah Carey's going to be on with us. Jeff Passan's going to be on with us. You know how much I hate preview radio.
Yeah.
And furthermore, the question on the television show yesterday was, if the Cubs win Game 6, who should be the favorite in Game 7? Who cares? And I said this when I was asked it.
Right.
Like, who cares who the favorite is? Right now, you are down to a totally random. Tonight it's not about who's the best team. It's just one game for everything, a terrible measuring stick. Sure. It's going to be a lot of fun for everybody. But the best team is the Cubs. The Cubs, over a representative sample size, have been the best team. And the best team in that sport doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who the favorite is. Doesn't matter who anyone thinks is going to win. Hopefully something dramatic and fun will happen, and we will all get monster ratings because of the stakes attached and the history attached to tonight's game.
Just to be clear, you love Game 7s. You just don't like previewing Game 7.
Correct.
Game 7 is, you've always said, the coolest, the best thing in sports.
I'll watch all of that tonight. I will delight in watching all of that tonight, and hopefully it's not like last night's game. Hopefully it's a close, tense game that feels like Game 5 did.
Right.
Because
exactly
last night's game was no good. It was over fast.
Game 5, you had the Cubs down 1-0 early. Fans were starting to get nervous. Like, listen, I know a lot of people are rooting for the Chicago Cubs, but you want them to be kind of nervous 7th, 8th, 9th inning. You want that, right? Of course, because we all want a close game. You want that. What annoys me is whether the Cubs win or lose, they're going to be the story tonight. That's what annoys me.
Many of you are writing in that I shouldn't make fun of people with learning disabilities. You are right about that. I wasn't really making fun of. I was making fun of myself, but you're right about that. What I said in the first segment, I shouldn't have said. We were talking about the idea of me walking into the tux store, and they were waiting for someone slow to walk into the tux store and buy that tux. So many of you complaining about that, you are correct. And if I can ask for your forgiveness and you will take it, please do. If not, go bleep yourself.
I forgive you.
Thank you, Stugotz. So Stugotz is in the selfie stick, and he is just amazing for a lot of different reasons, one of which we're going to tell you about now. He's super frustrating. Stugotz is a super frustrating creature to deal with on a daily basis for a number of different reasons. For example, you ask him to make a decision on something, and he'll tell you, yeah, ask me again later, ask me again later, ask me again later, and a week will go by, and he's still, on the most basic of things. A week will go by, and he still will not have made a decision because he's indecisive.
Yep.
And what happened during the break here, Mike, how would you explain this to people? Because Mike was staring at Stugotz with his mouth hanging open theatrically. He looked kind of like the Scream mask.
Yeah. I mean, he was furious with me for good reason.
Mike, how would you explain to the audience what happened during the break?
You want me to give the whole story away?
Well, however it is that you want to tell the story. However, I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe
okay.
Stugatz doesn't retain what he reads. The things you could put anything. If we wanted to get Stugatz fired, in fact, we've done this. Do you have that bacon hat? Do you have that bacon hat? We've done this to Stugatz. You just put things in front of him and he will read them, and he's not absorbing what he's reading. He's just reading words, and they're not getting to his brain in a way that absorbs what the words mean.
You put a script in front of me, man. I get paid for reading those scripts, and I'm just going to thunder right through it.
Okay, we're going to get in a second to what it is that Stugatz did yesterday and today, and we're going to get to this Tony La Russa story as well. I promise. I'm sorry I've lied to you. It'll be in the next segment. But here is an example of Stugatz. We did this as a prank to Stugatz. Listen to this and listen to how Stugatz doesn't absorb any of what he's saying.
Follow the herd. Nearly 300 head of cattle into the heart of Miami. Admissions free. Don't miss the horse shows, arts and crafts, all the plants and flowers you could buy. A farmer's market, dog skill show, live bands, great food, and more. Like their cowboy hat made of bacon, kids will love petting the cows, cougars, donkeys, mules, ducks, birds, rattlesnakes, and everyone's favorite, alligator wrestling for the kids. And the huge fun zone.
Now, keep in mind, that only stopped because I burst out laughing. Like, I was trying not to look at him. He would have read that for the rest of time. Wrestle the rhinos, fight with the elephants, play an elephant dung. We could have written anything. He would have just kept reading without absorbing any of it. The only reason that ended is because I burst out laughing to end that bit.
So you know how Stugatz does the Sports Centers. He's our Sports Center anchor. And at the end of every Sports Center, there is an and finally, an offbeat note, if you will. Yesterday, one of the notes was, and finally, a fart sparked a fire during a surgery. And it was, a couple more details.
Right, no, I remember
but
it.
It's a story you would remember.
A woman farted, a laser caught fire, no one was hurt.
Yeah,
I remember
she
you
was
reading
burned.
it.
She survived.
Yeah.
She survived. So that was yesterday. This morning, during one of the breaks, Stugatz turns to me and says, Mike, have you seen this story? A woman was burned during, and I knew right away what was going on.
Cut me off.
Yeah. I was like, please don't effing tell me what you're about to tell me. He's like, what do you think I'm going to tell you? Fart and surgery? He's like, oh, okay. I did that yesterday.
That's unbelievable,
Well,
Stugatz.
there's new details in the story.
No, they're not.
The story's advanced.
No, they're not. No. You were looking to me.
Are you trying to cover this up?
You were looking at me hearing this for the first time.
I'm sure your cover-up will be real subtle and graceful. I'm sure this will be a mastermind type
Give it
of
your
cover-up.
best shot, please.
Go ahead.
I'm
Try and
begging
cover
you. Try to
this
cover
up.
this up.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, the entire, operating room went on fire, and unfortunately, one of the surgeons was injured. And there's advancements on the story here where the surgeon now has to get surgery as well. And so I was just trying to give Mike, I'm serious, because he had some burns. And so I'm trying to give Mike, and there's a possible lawsuit here as well, doctor, hospital to the lady. And I was trying to give Mike the information because maybe we wanted to advance the story on the show today.
A follow-up, yeah.
Yeah.
You're a jerk, man.
I'll slap you in the face with money.
As Stugatz would tell you, nothing can beat the sure comfort of Tommy John underwear. No discomfort from chafing or ride up. Is that what we're calling it these days? Ride up?
Yeah.
Is ride up what it's called? Walk, sit, stand comfortably knowing that you have on a pair of Tommy John today.
It is crafted, Tommy John. We all love it here, everyone on the show. It is crafted from super light, breathable fabric that moves with you, not against you, and backed by the best pair you'll ever wear or its free guarantee. Guys, there's no risk. Don't like it? Keep it. It's free. Tommy John, no adjustment needed. Save 20% on your first order with code Miami at TommyJohn.com. Do that right now. That's Miami for 20% off at TommyJohn.com.
Oye, this is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugatz on ESPN Radio. Dan Le Batard.
I can make the argument that Calvin Johnson's the third best receiver ever.
Easily, yes.
Not easily, Stugatz.
No, you easily could. Look at the numbers. Easily could.
Stugats.
Like, your contribution to this conversation was just an easily.
I was trying to, support you.
Keep your support.
Listen, you made a statement. I was supporting it with easily. That's what you do for a friend. What does my friend do back to me? Criticizes my support.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugats on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. The Dan Le Batard Show is brought to you by Pennzoil Synthetics, taking synthetic motor oil performance to a whole new level. Make the switch to Pennzoil Synthetics today. Guest on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Here's your SportsCenter update. Cubs force a Game 7 last night, 9-3 over the Indians. Addison Russell, 2 hits, 6 RBI, including a grand slam that blew the game open. Game 7 tonight. Going to be exciting. Kyle Hendricks and Corey Kluber. 8 Eastern right here on ESPN Radio. First college football playoff rankings announced last night. Alabama, Clemson, Michigan, and Texas A&M are your top 4. And finally, a woman thought she won a $43 million jackpot at a slot machine in Queens. It would have been the largest slot machine jackpot in U.S. history, but the New York Gaming Commission said the machine malfunctioned. The machine had a disclaimer stating, malfunctions void all pays and plays. So instead, the casino offered a complimentary steak dinner.
Well, that's nice of the casino. That fixes it.
Seems fair.
Yeah. Come on, casino. Come on, casino.
Thank you.
I mean,
go ahead.
I mean, for the love of God, you got to do better than that.
A lot
Come
better
on,
than
man.
that.
Complimentary steak dinner.
This Sports Center is brought to you by JCPenney. Hurry into JCPenney's Lucky Day sale and get great deals throughout the store for just $7. Plus, get $10 off when you spend $25 or more with coupon. That's getting your pennies worth. JCPenney. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in to the Sports Center on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
Allison, how do we use all this substantive power and platform that ESPN and Disney have given us to pressure that casino to do better by that woman? She can't be thinking she won $43 million, and then next thing you know, she gets a steak dinner.
What a convenient thing that the Gaming Commission has there. Oh, we're sorry, the machine malfunctioned. I mean, what are you doing there?
I'm guessing there might be some details there that are helpful that would explain this away. But still, if that woman legitimately thought she'd won $43 million and had a period of time in her life where she thought she was $43 million richer, only to have someone come over and say, sorry, machine malfunction, she deserves for the casino, for its error, to give her something better than a steak dinner.
I would say, because I love a good steak dinner, but that would be a hard dinner for me to get through.
Right.
That would be an unenjoyable steak dinner.
You've lost your appetite.
That's second place. You know? Yes.
All right. Let me backtrack for just a second here. We'll get to this Tony La Russa story in a second. At some point, we'll get to Game 7 of the World Series, although I see the first question on the television show, highly questionable today, is did Joe Madden make a bad decision by pitching Aroldis Chapman? Because here it is, the Cubs get it back to 3-3, get it back to Game 7, and we're finding the first place to criticize somebody for something.
Yeah.
And I don't really care about that. It was surprising that he did it. You'd rather have the guy who throws 102 or 103 miles an hour be available for Game 7 without needing to rest him more.
Good first question for the show today, and it was a total mistake. I mean, what is Joe Madden thinking? The genius Joe Madden. I mean, it's smarter than everyone in baseball, smarter than Francona and everyone else. I mean, Dan, unless there's a new rule in baseball in which one swing could net you 5 runs, why would you put Chapman in the game last night? He had just pitched 2 or 3 innings the game before. You throw him for 20 last night. You got a Game 7. And tonight's game is really just a race to the 5th inning. Who can get to the 5th inning with a lead? Because if it gets to Andrew Miller, lights out, game over. And if it gets to Chapman, if his arm was rested, it would also be lights out, game over. But now you have questions as to whether or not Chapman is going to pitch tonight, and if he pitches, how long he's going to pitch. Why would Joe Madden do that?
Okay, fine.
Stupid.
Okay. Did you just sing the word stupid?
I sure did.
Okay.
Madden. Dummy.
I heard that song in your ear before I heard it onto your microphone.
Oh.
You have to turn your headsets down.
Not smart.
I do love the mercenary nature of they've got Chapman for one more game, and then he's a free agent. They got him for this reason, so they don't care about whether they're going to blow out his arm. And Chapman is not quite the sure thing that Miller is, incidentally.
No.
Chapman, he throws very hard, but he also he is not as unhittable as some of the other guys in the series have been.
I could be wrong, but I believe the last 24 games the Indians have had a lead, fifth inning or later, they've won all of those games because of Andrew Miller. I mean,
Not just Andrew Miller, it's their whole bullpen.
The whole bullpen,
It's
you're
all
right.
those guys who
Yep.
come out there
You're right.
throwing 95 with movement.
And Joe Madden, credit to him, he's usually on. As he said in the postgame, he doesn't really see any difference in how he might use Chapman. And he's done a really good job managing his rotation. I mean, he's got Hendricks starting, and he's got Lester and
How'd
Lackey
you guys
available.
suck me into this?
Yeah.
How did you guys suck me into this?
I mean, he's going to use Lester tonight, though, right? And Arrieta said he can go for an inning if he needs to, and whatever. Madden, tired of him.
Texter writes in, 1 swing, 5 runs. Did Dan not catch that?
You don't get the show.
There are so many people, so many new listeners that we have that do not get what's happening around here. We get so much of that. I read about 1/50th of that we get every day. Getting to this Tony La Russa story. I got to get to this Tony La Russa story, even though, I mean, if you step back for a second, Stugatz, I'm guessing that there is no one who heard yesterday's show who heard you read a woman farted during surgery igniting a laser who forgot it, except for the guy who read it. Like, I'm guessing that no one, unless there was some outbreak of amnesia somewhere, that no one heard that and forgot that story except for the guy who delivered it to them, who has somehow forgotten reading it. That's amazing. It's amazing.
Is it?
And totally not surprising. It's crazy. It is insanity.
I'm stupid.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugats from South Beach on ESPN Radio.
Ferguson, the right people, the right products, right around the corner. Visit Ferguson.com today.
Dan Le Batard.
Texter writes in, what makes you happy?
Stugats.
Do I give off on air unhappiness? Do I give off?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit more recently.
Yeah, recently.
Yeah,
Really?
No
Binge
doubt.
drinking,
Yeah. I mean, we're walking on eggshells around here, man. All of us.
Money,
This is
Pop.
very
I
therapeutic.
would
I'm
say
glad
money.
this came up. Yeah.
Money, we can all agree. Money, it's money. Money makes them happy.
Yeah, money.
That's not
Money.
true at all.
Money.
Well, it's the things money buys, really.
Right.
Like the binge drinking.
Possessions.
Possessions.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugats on ESPN Radio.
Jonah Kerry in about 15 minutes on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Get in touch with the show anytime through the 1-800-Flowers Twitter feed at Le Batard Show at Stugat790. You know what's always in season? Surprising a friend or loved one with a fresh bouquet from 1-800-Flowers. To get vibrant bouquet starting at just $29.99, go to 1-800-Flowers.com/ESPN.
I love the Vine making the rounds yesterday. Is it still Vine? Vine is going out of business, right? Vine is no longer going to exist, but the Vine of Joakim Noah's jumper, haunted, evil jumper, missing the basket by 5 feet. How are you feeling about your Knicks, incidentally, your New York Knicks? You feeling pretty good about that team?
1 and 2 start. It's early, man. A lot of new pieces there. Going to take some time to gel. It is early. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, they're 1 and 2. They lost to the Pistons, who have won 3 straight. They're playing good ball. We'll be fine. We'll be fine, man. I would say the Knicks, if they can get it all together and gel, Dan, I would say the Knicks have a very good shot of being a top 4 seed in the East. If. A lot of ifs. But if it all comes together. Joakim Noah, Derrick Rose, it all comes together, man. You sent out a great, I don't think you sent it out, someone sent it out, but you responded to it. It's the Cowboys left tackle just mauling people all the way downfield. It was one of the greatest videos I've ever seen in my entire life.
What's his name, Fats and Info?
His hands are so small.
What's his name?
Tyrod Smith.
Yeah, he is great. And Mike Ryan said the other day that Pro Football Focus, that quack operation, counterfeit Ponzi scheme of football analysis, has him as the 8th rated tackle. And I'm telling you, he's the best tackle I've ever seen.
It's amazing. This is the greatest video I've ever
all right,
seen.
look at our Twitter account, @LeBatard Show, because it's not just that he's running 40 yards downfield in front of Ezekiel Elliott, and the defensive back for the Eagles is running away from him like a 9-year-old. Like a 9-year-old, just trying to duck, trying to get away, and is about to be engulfed the way you would be by an eclipse.
But before he does that, where he's chugging really fast, 40 yards downfield, and
about not letting kids out of scholarships and all that kind of stuff. It's because of things like this. I have no problem with Georgia paying Ludacris whatever it costs to go get him there. They're not doing it because it's a bad idea. They're doing it because it's a good idea. They're doing it because it is a business.
Mike and Mike, starting at 6 a.m. Eastern. Weekdays on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
That'd be the guy that I would send. After seeing that video, that would absolutely be the guy that I would send.
Do you guys know what happened there? What happened there?
They apparently lost us, and in the struggle to get us back, none of this was communicated. They started sending us back our return, and I believe it went through all 7 rings of hell before it came back to us.
Then it got belched out here?
Good God. I can't see straight.
It is totally disorienting.
Yeah,
it sounded like something straight out of a movie about possession.
Now, it depends how we're fighting the aliens. Is just a test of strength? Is it a, athletic cop? Because I might send LeBron. I might send Westbrook, who might be an alien.
No, a fight. It's a fight.
Oh, a fight. Yeah, I'm sending him. I'm sending the Cowboys tackle.
Yeah, we're not negotiating with them. We're not winning against them in a sport. We're just trying to scare them because they're trying to scare us. That's a decent place to start. By the way, the Norv Turner has resigned. For you who care about these things, the offensive coordinator for the Vikings says, bleep this. You seen that offensive line? Well, I got no chance. That offensive line, and my quarterback's made of balsa wood and scotch tape. I got no chance. I'm going to get out of here before you guys blame me for everything that's happening around here.
Might be replaced with Tony Sparano. Perfect.
I liked your first choice better.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So Sparano's getting a promotion for what? All the good work he's done with that offensive line. Huh.
It'd be him or Pat Shurmur.
Football. Give Sparano a promotion because he's got just a dreadful offensive line. Man, if I hear one more commentator, they were praising Tony Sparano on Monday night for the good work. And it's like, what are you talking about? What good work? One more commentator praising the coach for something. All right, let's tell this Tony La Russa story that I've been teasing for an hour before we talk some Game 7 with Joe Nicari coming up next here.
This is, I saw it last night on Twitter. This is according to Ben Fontana. Ben Fontana is a guy who handles web for, media digital stuff for a local Cleveland radio station. Rode the media elevator with Tony La Russa. He didn't have credential security. He didn't have his credentials. Security would not let him through. Shows off his World Series ring. How about this? Security responds, "Yep."
So is that jerk or no jerk? Tony La Russa.
No jerk, man.
At LeBatard Show, Tony La Russa doesn't have credentials, holds out his hand to show off his World Series ring, and says, how about this? Jerk or no jerk?
I mean, Mike, that's no jerk.
Oh, I think that's going to come back torn. That's no jerk
Really?
for your sensibilities. Yes, this is in line with, this is how you would behave with a World Series ring.
mean, it's efficient. Did he say it playfully? How about this, guys? Huh?
I mean,
or did he say, how about this?
You got really mad at Paul McCartney for condescending Phil Collins. You got really mad.
Right, but I mean, security should know who Tony La Russa is, especially if you're security at the World Series, and he forgot his credential. And if you have to show off your World Series ring to get in, I'm totally fine with that. Like, that's a great credential.
All right, we will ask Jonah Carey that question and others. We'll give you your baseball fix next.
Estás escuchando el programa de Dan Le Batard en ESPN Radio.
Hey, baseball fans, I'm Buster Olney. And on the latest Baseball Tonight podcast, there's only one thing we know for sure. There's going to be a lot of joy in a Game 7, and there's going to be a lot of heartbreak. We talked with Keith Law and Doug Glanville about that.
I'm Andy Katz from ESPN, along with my co-host Seth Greenberg. On the latest edition of the ESPN College Basketball Podcast, we are going to discuss the notice of allegations at Louisville and Seth Greenberg on a tour around the country. Go to the ESPN app and click on the headphone icon to get our podcast.
Number 1 ranked Alabama heads to Death Valley for a huge SEC showdown against LSU.
Snap, fumble, Alabama's got the football.
Coverage begins Saturday at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.